yeah, you know what it do. It's part 2 of Word on the Street. Aaron McKee,
What up, y'all?
Steph Ronin, 44 HEELZ. Let's get into it, man.
Let's get it. We're going to start right here. We're going to start with Travis Scott, who will be in attendance at WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes was on First Take saying he might get a receipt. That's what he said. But they were talking about the hit, all this good shit. Travis Scott said, The Rock said, you better hit him hard, bro.
No.
That's what The Rock said that. He said, you better hit him hard. So then Travis Scott hits him. He goes backstage. Triple H, Nick Khan, all these people are like, hey, bro, you can't be hitting motherfuckers like that. But they was like, we got to teach you how to hit. And he's like, no, The Rock told me to hit him that hard, bro. The Rock said to do that. And they're like, word. And they said the one person who did not complain, other wrestlers complained. Who do you think didn't complain?
Cody.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Fire. How you feel about that? The Rock said, you better fucking hit him, bro. You better fucking hit him.
I wanted to know what was the response after Travis told him that. Did they be like, yo, Rock? Or did they say, okay. what was the response?
He's like, the head of the board said to fucking lay into him. So I did, bro. But yeah, The Rock was like, you better make it believable. Otherwise, like, the crowd won't take you serious. Like, if he did make it look like a weak ass, like barely hit him type shit, we would be like, why is he even in the ring?
Right.
But then we were like, why the fuck's he in the ring? Blowing ass eardrums and black eyes and shit.
Bro, that motherfucker is straight dry snitched on The Rock, bro. Like, fuck dry snitch. He snitched on him. He said he did it. He told
He said he did it. Do you think we get a receipt at WrestleMania? Does Travis Scott get that involved? Or is Travis Scott doing maybe... Bro, I just thought about that because we talked about it on Raw SmackDown review. What if Travis Scott is with Jey Uso during the entrance to the WrestleMania match?
Bro. Oh, man.
Because he's already been... Think about it. He's already done a Jey Uso entrance. And who's working for The Rock right now? Travis Scott.
Travis Scotty.
Bro, Jey Uso is joining fucking The Rock at WrestleMania, bro. I'm telling you, bro. The signs are... You said the 20th entry in the fucking room. Bro, Jey Uso is the third member or second member.
Damn.
Bro.
I mean, they are.
My mind's blown, bro. All the clues are there, bro. All the clues are there.
But it's kind of funny when a couple years ago, the Usos was asked to break down the family tree, right? And they said The Rock, and he said, like, he's like a distant down the line.
Yeah.
Basically, they're not even related.
Yeah. Kevin Owens said that shit, bro. Kevin Owens on the CBB podcast, he's like, they act like they related. They ain't all related. He said, just because two of their dads tag together, they're not fucking related, guys.
Hell yeah, KO, man. I like that dude, man. That's my dude, man. KO, he's a trip. Damn.
Bro, Jey Uso's joining The Rock, bro.
Jey Uso's joining part of the clique? Is he joining the final boss clique?
How's Big Jim going to feel about that?
Yeah. Does he join along?
That's how you propel Big Jim. That's how you skyrocket him as a solo artist, bro.
Now, or Big Jim could just go ahead and fall into that damn space with his wife.
Yeah.
2 HEELZ.
Yeah.
We both at it right now, you know?
Yeah. So, that's good. I would like that too. Jim comes back a little pissed off because he was left bloody. And then while in his absence, his brother joins The Rock. Ooh.
But see, the thing is,
I'm telling you. Come on, Triple H.
The thing is, but I like yours, like what you said is right. Big Jim, that's how you propel him. You have him, but see, the thing is, if Jay beats Gunther for the title and he kind of gets revenge for his brother, why would his brother get mad that he would join The Rock?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe just because it was supposed to be me and you, Oos, Yeah, it was supposed to be us.
Yeah.
And then Jay can be like, bro, you've turned on me how many times, bro? You cost me how many matches, bro?
Yeah, and Jim was just like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's like, my bad, bro. He do his dance in the ring.
Hey, bro, that shit was cold.
I keep seeing different memes with it, bro. It's so amazing, bro.
I like that shit.
Speaking of the Jey Uso and Gunther match, the IWC, did you see, Pat McAfee had this like show in Pittsburgh, this arena show,
giving away money and shit.
And the IWC thinks Pat McAfee gave away the match to Gunther because he was like the next world heavyweight champion, Jey Uso. And it's just like, guys, that's kind of what you say. That's kind of what you say when you're a fan of Jey Uso. You know what I'm saying? And if you've listened to any other podcast with Michael Cole, They don't tell Pat McAfee anything, bro. Pat McAfee, that's how he goes into Raw. He doesn't want to know none of the storyline. He wants to know nothing because he wants to react. He wants his reaction to be his reaction to the show as a fan. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, I'm like, do you really think the WWE has it mapped out 2 weeks before WrestleMania who's actually winning these matches yet? Because if you know anything about the WWE, you know shit can change at the drop of a dime, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, I happen to know in good terms that most WWE wrestlers, they don't know who's going to go over to the match of the day they arrive to the building.
Most of the time, yeah. And Chelsea Green was talking about that because I listened to her on the podcast today on CBB. And she was like, for like a month straight, they was like talking to me like I was going to win the U.S. championship belt. But like I didn't believe them because everything's subject to change. And she initially said she was supposed to win the belt or the main event for her versus Michin for the U.S. championship was supposed to be in her hometown at Survivor Series in Canada. That's when it was supposed to be. She said she had to buy like 40 tickets for all her family and all that shit because she was supposed to be there. But then what happened? They switched it to Saturday Night Main Event when she finally won the belt. But she was like, this whole time they told me the main event for the U.S. belt was going to be that night. I was going to be in it. So she bought all these tickets for all her family to come, all her friends with all their husbands. And then she's like, I watched the whole show in a box suite with Michael Bublé. I wasn't even part of the goddamn show.
Damn.
So it's like, if you really think Pat McAfee is calling Jey, and you think Pat McAfee would still be on TV if he ruined that, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, guys. Come on, guys.
No, you're right. I have a word on the street, piggyback off what you said. Watching Raw, and I'm like, either Pat McAfee is losing steam, or something's off with his commentary now.
Yeah.
What he was famous for in SmackDown, basically making clips and highlights and yelling and being boisterous, that's cool. On Raw, I feel like is he tired? Like, is he getting too much work? Like,
the motherfucker works a lot, bro. He works a lot. Do you think he's better in a 3-man booth than a 2-man booth?
No, I think he's better in a 2-man booth, but I just feel like his style of commentary is very short. It don't have a large shelf life.
Yeah. See, I feel like sometimes I like him a lot, and then sometimes I don't like him a lot.
Lately, I have not been liking him.
And this kind of ties into another thing with your boy Vinny Russo saying. He says Michael Cole sucks because he doesn't have Vince McMahon in his ear anymore feeding him lines.
Wow.
How you feel about that, bro?
Wow.
How you feel about that one, bro?
Hey, that might have some truth to it, bro. I'm not going to lie.
You think so? Because that kind of ties into because Pat McAfee was there for a little bit when he wasn't a full-time announcer, but he was there under Vince's regime.
Right.
And, everyone always says, Michael Cole says it was so hard to do commentary because Vince would be yelling shit in your ear the whole time. And he says the biggest thing with Triple H is he kind of lets me just be me. Do you feel like Michael Cole has fallen off in the last few years is what I'm like? Do you think just as a whole, they've all fallen off?
Honestly, Michael Cole, he's always been right around this way with me in commentary. So I don't see much of a dip off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can tell that he's more of himself, right? But at the same time, bro, it ain't that much of a dip off. Man, Vince McMahon did give him the highlight one-liners,
Yeah.
Because Vince McMahon was the king of that shit.
Yeah. Because Vince was the announcer for most people didn't even know this motherfucker was the owner of the company. They just thought he was the fucking announcer.
Bro, let me tell you something. When I found that shit up, I was watching WWE. I was like, wait a minute, this the announcer.
You're like, that's the owner?
That's the owner? The announcer, man?
He came out the Montreal Screwjob, and you're like, what's Vince doing out there? What the fuck's going on, bro?
I had no idea that he was the owner.
Yeah.
But the childhood dream, whatever he says, like those lines right there is like so iconic in WWE spectrum, right? And Michael Cole has some of those lines, and I'm pretty sure those are lines that Vince fed him through the earpiece.
100%.
So, to me, it's the same. Cole is the same.
Do you like? Because I love Corey Graves. Corey Graves and Michael Cole is my favorite announced team. Hands down. It's not even close. Corey Graves, I feel bad for him, bro. I feel bad for him. He should not be in NXT. If anything, no offense, Wade Barrett, I love you too, but he should have Wade Barrett's job with Joe Tessitore. I honestly think that. And I love Wade Barrett too. I love Wade Barrett. And honestly, I liked it when it was Corey Graves and Wade Barrett. I like that team too. But Michael Cole, Corey Graves, that's your favorite announced team. My favorite announced team.
I miss my boy, man, from the announced team. What's his name? The guy with the glasses. He does boxing. He's the one. He's like Mamma Mia.
He was in WWE.
Yeah, he used to go Mamma Mia. Like, what is his name? Someone help me out here. I don't know.
Remember his name. I can't remember his name.
But he used to be in WWE, and I liked his commentating style. It sounded like a legitimate fight. He had that voice tone, like WWE. It was good, and I miss him. Like, I wish he would come to AEW, honestly, because that shit is dope.
Yeah.
But he was one of the last commentators in WWE that I was like, other than my boy Corey Graves, that I was like, yeah, I want to see him and Corey Graves do something together, you know?
Yeah. And shout out Tony Schiavone for being on the last episode of Nitro when they went off the air, and now he's on the episode of AEW that passes Nitro. Yeah. That's got to feel crazy, bro.
Yeah, Tony Schiavone. Schiavone, like, I don't think he gets a lot of props. Like, I think he's really underrated in this industry.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's all you heard. Tony Schiavone's voice was the soundtrack to the NWO.
Bro, he was WWE. When I think of WWE voices, or not WWE, WCW, it's Tony. WWE will always be JR to me, obviously. JR and Jerry the King.
Jerry the
always.
King Lawler.
Yeah.
Puppies! There you go. That's his line.
But man, that's got to feel crazy to be on the last episode of Nitro ever, and then you're on the new show that passes Nitro for the longest TBS TNT show. Crazy, bro. Crazy
work.
But we go to June 15th, bro. AEW Mexico. Dynamite. Grand Slam, bro. What's gonna happen, bro? I mean, it's gonna feature, I'm assuming, a fuck ton of luchadors.
Yes.
Hologram.
Yes.
Bro, I'm so excited to hear that crowd, everything.
Your boy Beast Mortis. He said what's going to happen? A whole lot of luchadoring going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we might get a surprise from Gracias, bro. Imagine.
That would be fucking hilarious.
No, I'm happy to see that. And you know what? And remember a couple months ago, everybody was predicting Backlash was supposed to be took place in Mexico.
That was Dave Meltzer, and then he also, I think, reported Backlash Japan, and we all know Backlash is in fucking Missouri now.
Right. Dave Meltzer, the non-wrestler. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Yep. We'll get to the Nick Khan, Tony Khan shit a little bit later, but Dave Meltzer had a good point about that whole situation. But I'm excited for Mexico. I did post on, I think it was like a Facebook thing. Someone posted it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. AEW is beating WWE to Mexico. And someone was like, well, they had a Raw there. And I had to look it up. And it was 2011. Right. And I'm like, okay, guys, I'm saying since Triple H has said that they want to go to Mexico, Tony Khan said, well, let's beat them to fucking Mexico.
Yeah. Well,
that's what I'm saying, guys. I get it. They've done live events in fucking Mexico. WWE's been there a bunch of times. I get it. But since this new discussion started and the backlash from the bad reporting, that's what I meant, guys. Right. That's what I meant.
Oh, I'll piggyback on you. Ever since the inception of fucking AEW.
Yeah.
2011, AEW wasn't even thought of.
Yeah. And they're in the era, the famous, the arena, Aero Mexico, I believe the arena's called. So
it's a conjoined show, AEW/CMLL.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great show. I'm excited for it.
Fox Sports Mexico. It's going to be on Fox Sports Mexico. Perfect. And maybe this might open an avenue to, AEW also
Shockwave
eventually being on Fox. We'll see. My guy. But let's get into it, bro. The billionaire son comments, bro.
Wow.
That's WWE's new dude. I feel like they're like, hey guys, this is going to be the new diss. We're going after AEW. First, we're going to say like this. Then we're going to say this. But I want because all you hear now from all these WWE people is billionaire son's money. Right. That's it. Bro, I'm like, do they say it in the general staff meetings for everyone at WWE? Bro, it's so fucking insane, bro. It's so crazy. How you feel about it, bro?
Now, I'm gonna be fair, because to be fair, Tony had it coming. Tony,
Because he took shots at Nick Khan first.
There's only
Calling him
only
corny
room
or
for
something?
one Khan in this wrestling industry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So hey, you gonna talk that shit? Be prepared for the backlash.
Mm-hmm.
So Nick Khan, I ain't saying he did nothing wrong to me. Hey, he just retaliated.
Yeah.
So,
But like we've heard, Seth Rollins call out Billionaire Son on a podcast. He took Billionaire Son's money to blah blah blah.
and he would.
But
too.
I will say,
and he would too.
and this is what Dave Meltzer, I was like, ooh, he's kind of got a point. Because he was like, yeah, it's like nepotism is a thing in wrestling. Fact. Vince McMahon took over the company from his dad, and they were, even though it was territories, they had the biggest territory. They had Madison Square Garden. They had all that. So yeah, they weren't billionaires, but like Vince McMahon took over a company that was established in some way. Tony Khan started a company from scratch, bro. And that's something to be said. That's something to be said. Vince did great things, bro. Vince built the company, took over territories, made a lot of money, turned it into $1 billion business. But Tony Khan started from nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so there's something to be said. Dave had a good point.
Well, he didn't really start from nothing. He had a couple million to play
Well,
with.
yeah,
you know
you got some money. You got some, but that's nepotism. That's
Right.
wrestling,
But-
bro, you know?
Yeah, start from scratch.
Yeah.
And for this company to be at the level that it's at 6 years later, and when you start from
Yeah.
nothing, and then they landed a nationwide TV deal, re-signed, where again you can talk about how the product has been produced. That's an opinion. That's not a fact. That's a matter of, it's very subjective. But one thing you cannot deny is that AEW put the motherfucking battery in WWE's back. How I know this? Because twice this week they mentioned this is WWE's Super Bowl, WrestleMania, and you're still talking about AEW.
Can't stop, bro. Can't stop.
This is your time.
Yeah.
How many times have AEW mentioned WWE this week? Zero.
To my knowledge, zero.
But you want to talk about AEW during your biggest weekend. So you tell me who's living rent-free in someone's head.
Yeah. That's what I posted a couple Twitter comments. I was like, for them to say AEW is not competition, but then to keep talking about AEW, come on, guys. Come on. NFL players don't talk about the USFL, bro. They don't. They don't fucking talk about it.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever
right.
it's called now, XFL,
Yeah.
XFUSF. And you know who The Rock fucking owns that shit. And no one talks about it. No NFL player gets asked about it. None of that, bro.
No.
It's are they gonna go to motherfucker who's a good player in the NFL, right? Are they gonna go to fucking Lamar Jackson and be like, hey man, USFL, man, you gonna go? No.
Yeah.
No way.
No. It's again, the E is telling themselves. So this week, what do we get so far this week? We got Nick Khan taking shots at Tony Khan.
Yeah.
We got Triple H taking shots at the IWC.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, bro? They saying one thing and doing another thing.
Everyone's saying it's a bad PR week for WWE.
Yeah.
This whole week.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I guarantee you, if Vince was in charge, they wouldn't even mention nothing about AEW.
That's what they said. They said he would never, like, you would of course Triple H and DX drove a tank to WCW and not a tank, a Jeep with a cannon on it, and went to the arena for WCW and was like, let us in, blah, 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 all that shit. There was shit like that, but it was never like Vince wasn't getting at, none of those people were getting asked about it. And they're like, oh, yeah, they got, billionaire son money. But it was just, no one said, well, I guess, mate, I don't know. Did they say it? Did they say, because they called him ATM Eric Bischoff?
Yeah.
ATM Eric?
But see, it wasn't a thing that was said so frequently like it is right now. I mean, because Eric Bischoff is pretty much the same thing. Eric Bischoff, for a person who don't like Tony Khan so much, hey, my man, the only difference between you and Tony Khan is Tony Khan's father is actually rich, but you still had Ted Turner money to play with.
Ted Turner's money.
So
that's CNN money, bro.
So it's the same damn thing.
Yeah.
So what you talking about?
Yeah.
Bischoff, get off.
And bro, man, I'm telling you, this week's Dynamite. Fired.
You finished it?
Yeah, I finished it.
Damn.
The whole thing. But
the whole thing.
We talking about Will Ospreay I'm not going to say much, but he has 50 5-star matches. 50 from Dave Meltzer. How you feel about that, bro?
Okay, so
I think it's a little glazing sometimes, bro. His matches are fire, bro.
okay.
Fire. But it's just coming from Dave. It's a bad source, bro.
So listen, you're right. It is a bad source. It's a
Yeah.
horrible source. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and count how many 5-star. I don't even again this 5-star rating. That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the 4-4 Hill podcast, we give 10s.
Yeah.
All right.
And we throw some decimals.
We throw some decimals in that mug, right? But if that's what it is, he has 50 5-star matches. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
To Dave Messler, that's fine.
Yeah.
But to the whole world, nah, bro. You know, some people still don't even know who Ospreay is.
Yeah. And I think it's funny that WWE wrestlers get asked it all the time about the 5-star rating, and they go on 20-minute tangents about how it doesn't matter. If I didn't think something mattered and someone asked me, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck. Let's move on.
But you know who does say who it doesn't matter, but they know that really do it fucking matters to him? Fucking Franklin.
Yep. He was just talking about it on the podcast. Yeah.
He started doing all types of shit. Like, bro, it matters to you.
I think where Dave loses credit is that Kurt Angle has 0.
Crazy work,
which
bro.
is
Crazy
insane,
work.
bro.
Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania should have been a fucking 5-star match. Like,
and you're gonna see on this week's Dynamite, it's not someone. It wasn't Dave Meltzer, but it was someone else that does star ratings on Instagram. I think they're pretty popular, but they ranked Mercedes Moné match higher than this Will Ospreay Takeshita match. And the Mercedes Athena match was fire, bro, but it was not better than Will Ospreay and Takeshita.
wow.
But it was good, but not that good.
Crazy work, bro.
All right, bro.
Let's go ahead and
go ahead.
Piggyback off of you with one of my word on the streets. This new battle, this infinite battle, this long-lasting term battle since the internet has been popular. And I'm talking about the IWC versus the wrestling industry. At what point will the wrestling industry recognize the IWC is nothing but a bunch of wrestling fans speaking their opinions?
They already did, bro.
They treat the IWC as if there's two sets of fans. There's the fans that come and watch the show, and there's the fans on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, news flash, WWE. The same fans that come and watch the show is the same ones on the fucking internet.
Same people, bro.
Same.
What's crazy to me is Triple H said, "Be a fan, don't be a critic." But literally, you made a whole documentary about WrestleMania 40 about how you listen to the fans and the critics,
right?
Because we want Cody.
Right.
But now this year, when the criticism is towards Triple H, he's like, "Hey guys, let's chill. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It just makes no sense.
It's that fucking shut up and dribble shit.
Yeah.
Shut up and watch the show.
Yeah.
That's what Triple H is telling us. He's saying, shut up and watch the show. Oh, it sucks. Yeah. Don't say nothing. Shut up and watch the show. Oh, you don't like the ending? Shut up and watch the show.
He said he's like, if you go just to the movies and you watch a movie as a fan, you're going to react different to it than if I tell you to write a 2-page report on what you liked and didn't like about the movie. I was like, yeah, of course. But that's the world we live in now. Is we want the two companies, I think, is what's making us critique it more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The two companies is why we're like, well, you know, we have this other company that did it this way. They have this way. So like, and we get props to WWE all the time, bro. They have great storytelling. I've never the word "this is cinema" has yet to be said about anything in AEW. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, they haven't had any of those.
Except for the Tony Storm Bar May.
Yeah, but that was like within the match. I'm talking like the Roman Reigns Cody thing at Georgia Tech.
Okay.
That shit really hasn't happened in AEW yet. They haven't crossed over into
That's fair.
That CM Punk Roman Reigns interview with Paul Heyman in the middle, that hasn't happened yet. Death Riders are trying to get there. It's just like, some of their promos hit, miss, some hit, some miss very bad. But it's just we haven't gone to that part yet. So it's kind of like, if you're going to make it like a movie, we're going to critique it.
Watch this. Triple H. The WWE has the ones who flamed this, fan this flame of the fans being this way. Why? Because you guys pull back the curtain too much. You guys killed the fucking kayfabe.
That's a good
You
plan,
guys
bro.
made it to the point to where we had nothing else to talk about. We couldn't just talk about the show itself. Now we had to talk about behind the scenes. Now we got to talk about the backstage politics. Now we got to talk about the dirt sheets. Now we got to talk about this and that. They started this shit. Now they can't handle it.
You reap what you sow.
That's it. That's
bro,
it.
that is a fantastic point. It's their fault they did it to us,
They did it
bro.
to themselves.
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
See, this is why the 404 Hill podcast is good, because I wouldn't have thought about that if you wouldn't have said what you were saying. It came to my head. This is what it is.
Yeah. That is a good motherfucking point, bro.
Good synergy, man.
Bro, so we get a little, I know you a fan of Dave LaGreca and Bully Ray. I know you a fan, bro. I know you the biggest fan in the world. So they're talking about, we got this Paul Heyman situation at WrestleMania, and they're talking about Brock coming back. And they had the biggest flub. I was like, how do they not know what we know? Because they're talking about how Brock is coming back, blah, blah, blah. Maybe he's coming back, maybe he's not. And they're like, well, Brock did an interview where he said he was retired from wrestling. Bitch, he didn't do an interview. Some Instagram dude on Instagram saw him at a restaurant and said, hey, you coming back to wrestling? He said, no, I'm done. But the whole time Busted Open was like, yeah, he did like an interview. He said he was done wrestling. We don't know really if it's true or not. I was like, he didn't do a fucking interview. Where is this interview, guys? A fucking fan saw him at like a Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't know the restaurant. Shout out Buffalo Wild Wings. But goddamn, I was like, these guys are on Sirius satellite radio, just misquoting shit all day, man. I'm like, guys, maybe listen to the IWC a little bit more, because it came from the IWC, right, bro. It didn't come from a fucking interview.
Or maybe if Dave LaGreca wouldn't yell so much, he probably would listen to the facts before he would get shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, but they so hot and cold sometimes, bro. It's so insane.
You know why? I have a theory about that. Why they so hot and cold? I'm starting to think they're doing this shit on purpose. I'm starting to think Bully Ray
for the clickies.
For clickies. Exactly for what it is. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes Bully Ray would say some outlandish shit. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
So
we all know LFG's the Bully Ray show. We all know that.
He's making it the Bully Ray show.
Yeah.
So,
bro, it's a bad look. LFG's the worst look in WWE this whole year, bro.
Let me ask you this.
It's the worst look.
Is LFG worse than Tough Enough?
Tough Enough was maybe. That's tough to say, because Tough Enough, who they have on there, Hardcore Holly bitching people out all the time or whatever. Yeah. But like, that was that time, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it was that time, and it was that didn't pull the curtain back as much as LFG is.
Yeah, they pulled the curtain all the way back. They took out the motherfucker off the shower racks and everything, bro. They pulled all the curtains back. You
got Booker calling out Bully. He's like, bro, quit trying to get yourself over. That shit wasn't, the coaches weren't fighting in Tough Enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they was on the same page. That's true. But nah, man.
Crazy, bro. Crazy.
Again, these terms, I'm going to another word. These terms that I'm starting to, like, people are using so loosely, like mark.
Yep, mark. That's my favorite word.
So,
hey, bro, we're AEW marks, bro. That's 404 Heels. We marks.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Listen. So what is a mark?
That is I always say, bro, when people are like, oh, they fumbled, I'm like, how would you book them? And they're like, well, but they never give me a fucking answer.
Yeah.
Ever, bro.
Right.
I'm like, you never give me a straight answer. They're like, oh, they messed up this storyline. I was like, how would you book this storyline? They're like, just differently. That's not an answer, bro. That's not an answer.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. What would you do different? I don't know. What you don't like about it? I don't know. Like, it sucks. That's not an answer.
Yeah.
If you cannot give, again, if you cannot tell us, if you can't have the same energy when you have the hate for it, but you can't keep the same energy when it's good and give us something positive for it, bro, you're a fucking hater. Like, you're a hater no matter what, because you have some undying loyalty to a 3-letter company, whether it's AEW or WWE, and you feel like you're portraying them if you give credit to the other company, which is fucking asinine.
Yeah.
Because when it's all said and done, we're the same colors on just different spectrums. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's crazy, bro, because I'll post like 10 WWE reels in a row, all positive. We'll post one thing about AEW, they'll be like, y'all are marks. I was like, did you not just see my
Yeah.
10 other fucking posts I posted, bro?
Yeah. Post WWE, definitely WrestleMania season, right? And one
Yeah.
AEW. Fuck your marks. You should have
Fucking
AEW
marks.
over the 4-4 heel sign. What?
Shit's
Hey,
so crazy,
shout
bro.
out to the people who come to our defense on the 4-4 Hills podcast, man. We appreciate y'all much, man.
Yeah.
Y'all know how that makes us feel seeing that, man. We
Yeah.
trying to make this non-tribalism thing a thing. Ain't no tribalism in our criticism. We're going to keep this thing going. Y'all keep it going. Before we know it, we're going to all come together like a melting pot, like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Keep it going, man. Shit.
Me and my grandpa used to watch this shit on a static TV. Whatever wrestling was on, we watched that shit.
Exactly.
Because we liked wrestling.
That's it.
Let's go. Roman Reigns, bro.
Oh.
He said his contract is almost up.
Uh-huh.
And then he's only down for a couple more years. So the word on the street is his contract is up at WrestleMania 42 next year in NOLA. And then he said 1 or 2 more years, bro. How you feel about that?
Look, I'm about to get murdered. I never see it come from my head, but I'm going to say it like this. If I was Roman Reigns, what else can you accomplish in the WWE?
That's facts.
That you should go to AEW and solidify your name. See, I kind of feel like this.
You say go to AEW?
Solidify your name.
That's why you getting killed, bro.
Listen,
no.
Yeah, oh yeah. Come on.
I love AEW. Fuck no, bro.
Listen. But I have a scenario. I have a reasoning. Listen to me though. I kind of feel like AEW is the street ball of professional wrestling, while the NBA is the WWE of professional wrestling, right? Meaning, if you want your street cred, if you want to be labeled as a great wrestler, you go to AEW and get it in, right? But if you're an AEW wrestler leaving to go to WWE, you already got your street cred. Now I'm trying to get the money. I'm trying to be on the big stage. I'm trying to do it big. I go to WWE. Yeah. Now look what Cope did. Cope, he left WWE. He went to AEW because he has a love for the professional wrestling sport itself, bro.
And because he old as shit and WWE don't want him, bro.
No, that's not true. WWE gave him a contract. He turned them down.
Just not enough. That's what Ricochet said too. Ricochet said he was offered a WWE contract, and he said not.
Well, that was the best move Ricochet ever did for his career.
100%.
So,
unless they would have let him be this heel Ricochet, if WWE would have allowed it in WWE, he'd be up there right now. I feel like, he'd be up there.
He would probably, yeah.
I mean, WWE's lacking heels right now, big time,
a lot,
big time.
But what I'm saying is, just in a hypothetical situation, if I was Roman, I would take my talents to AEW.
But he said he wants to be in a less physical shit, so AEW is not the answer.
Okay,
bro.
I didn't hear that. You're right about that. But can you imagine what it would do to Roman Reigns' legacy if he left WWE, went to AEW, and got AEW up to the level to where they were damn near competing for the ratings just because Roman Reigns alone? Do you know what it would do to his legacy?
He's the needle mover, bro. He would make AEW almost maybe more popular than WWE. Let me ask y'all at home, if Roman Reigns were to ever go to AEW, does AEW have a chance to then become the #1 promotion in America? Let us know, y'all.
Let us know that. Yeah. Nice.
I think so, because Triple H said himself, Roman Reigns is the biggest needle mover in the business right now. Biggest needle mover in the business.
So wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. Hold on. So Triple H said Roman Reigns is the biggest needle mover, but I feel like Cody Rhodes is the biggest star in the company right now.
Yeah, it's because you know Cody's going to be there every week, so you don't move no needles if you're there every week. Okay. But that once a month, maybe twice a month, that they announce Roman Reigns is going to be there, skyrocket ticket sales.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's Roman's been cutting a lot of promos online about part-time this, part-time that. He's talking about big-time moneymaker, motherfucker. And I think, in my personal opinion, that him being kind of part-time helps the aura of Roman. If we saw Roman Reigns every Friday, he would not be Roman Reigns.
That's true. I get it.
It's like it's a special treat we get to see. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like Brock Lesnar was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people agree, bro. I've seen on the IWC, they don't like his new music, bro. I'm the only one that likes his new music, bro.
And you know what's crazy about that? Because when it first came out, people was agreeing with you. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, the new one's so epic." It's now they agree with me by saying, "No, we want the old shit." And
I mean, it's very similar. There's subtle differences to it.
It's majorly different.
It's the same like
they have the same melody, but it's so different across the board how they project it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I do music, so I hear this. I promise you, his new music, it sounds like the second coming of Jesus. All right. But the first one is what made me really sink my teeth into Roman Reigns. That hard guitar riff. Yeah. It sounded like he's coming to whoop your ass, bro. Mm-hmm. This music sounds like he's gonna give you a pamphlet until you go to church on Sundays. That's what it sounds like, bro.
Maybe he goes back to it when he loses the wise man or something, bro. Maybe something. Something.
Shit.
All right, we got Conan, your boy K-Dog, K100.
Hey, go ahead, because I got something to follow right on that. Go ahead.
So he says WWE won't sign Britt Baker because of her attitude. How you feel about that?
First of all,
we had all the backstage shit with MJF and all that shit, Britt Baker, all that type of shit. She kind of reminds me of like the Ronda Rousey at AEW, complaining about how long Roman's entrance is. And it's like, bitch, it's Roman Reigns. That's MJF.
Right.
Probably the biggest star currently in AEW, Ospreay's right there.
Well, yeah, behind
Swerve. Behind Swerve,
Ospreay, and fucking Moxley.
Yeah.
Conan, I don't know why he said that, because that's very hypocritical, because if he's just going off of what's going on in AEW, that's why WWE didn't want to sign her. But then what'd that say about CM Punk?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
CM Punk came with a shit ton of baggage from AEW, and they signed that motherfucker up like that.
Yeah, and that's another Nick Khan talking point is like, CM Punk has been nothing but a sweetheart since he's been like, he's been nothing but amazing. It's like, yeah, but they wasn't saying that 10 years ago when he left WWE, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to realize he got fired from WWE for being a fucking dickhead. Then he went to AEW. There was a lot of people that didn't like about him, but now he's like a changed man because he knows this is his last chance. 2 strikes, you ain't out. 3 strikes, you out, bro. You know? Yeah. Where are you going to go? TNA? Nope.
No. He's not going to go back to TNA. I feel like Britt Baker will, and if she does decide to leave AEW, she will get signed by WWE regardless of her past.
Straight NXT.
Oh, yeah. She'll be in NXT to prove herself. Mm-hmm. But once she does, she's going to shoot her to the main roster. But, yeah, K-Dog.
I'm not a fan of Britt.
I like Britt Baker. Britt Baker. I like Britt before she got hurt.
Yeah.
She was put on.
You said
banging ass matches before she hurt herself. But, post injury Britt, it's a different story. Now, speaking of K100, his running mate, Disco, I got another Disco shit for you. Check this out. Disco said during a Dynamite of the April 9th Dynamite, right, review, he was talking about the opening promo for Jon Moxley. Remember that? With the Death Riders?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Moxley. He said it was Moxley versus. Then there was a Moxley.
It was the one Claudio started, right?
Yes,
I think Claudio started it, and then John took over.
Yes, and it led into the Moxley versus Shibata match.
Yeah.
Okay. He said, and this let me know how much he really pays attention to shit. Disco said that what would have been more entertaining is if Shibata would have came down during Jon Moxley's promo in ring. He said, first of all, I wouldn't have that promo backstage or to have that promo in ring. And what would have been more entertaining if Shibata would have came down and used the fucking phone to talk during his promo. He started laughing like, kick. That would have been more entertaining. And I said, wait a minute. That would never happen. Because for Shibata to do that with Jon Moxley and the Death Riders, that goes against everything that they've been fighting for.
Yeah.
To get away from the bullshit. They want the hardcore wrestling, beat your ass. So why would they
don't want the gimmicky shit.
They don't want no gimmicky shit. There you go. So that is Disco, you just told yourself, bro. You don't pay attention to what the fuck you watching.
There's a reason his gimmick was a disco dancer. There's a like are you fucking kidding me, bro? Like you was never over ever.
Never.
Ever. I've never met someone and they're like, dude, I'm a huge Disco Inferno fan. Not one time.
Never. I've never
Not one time.
Say that.
Even my grandpa made fun of that motherfucker, bro. We could see it through the static. We're like, what the fuck's he doing? What is he doing?
Right. Listen, and And guess what? The people that you're talking about, John Moxley, legend star. Shibata,
Yeah.
legend star.
Yeah.
You, my God, no one. I have, bro. When the last time you seen someone had a disco in front of shirt?
Never. Not the last time. Whenever. Never.
Ever. So
that picture you posted at Disco Inferno, bro, he looks like an old woman librarian, bro. I swear to God. I said, why he posted this picture of this woman right here, bro?
Yo, hey, bro, that's something that we be doing. I noticed, bro. When we post the pictures of dudes, we pick the most craziest looking ass pictures. And we'll post that shit. Yo, but on the real, man, Disco told on himself. I'm like, why did he think that would go with what the Death Riders are going against?
It just shows how disconnected he is.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
Disco, you're disconnected.
Yeah, disco is disconnected, just like disco music, bro. We ain't fucking listening to it no more, bro.
He don't really
and
know. And
everyone in the comments was, they're like, disco, we're taking disco serious, and we're like, no, we ain't.
No,
just saying, bro.
No, we just saying. We like to point out the bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And if you're gonna talk shit about someone, and I understand your opinion, I understand this and that, that's fine. But make it make sense.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. Yeah. That didn't make any sense. That's the first thing I thought I heard. I'm like, wait a minute. Why would they? No, that's gimmicky. That's the Death
so
Riders.
Dumb.
No.
So dumb.
He don't
so
understand.
Dumb, bro.
So it brought me to this thought. Is it really possible that people talk shit about AEW because they don't know what the fuck they're watching? They don't understand it?
Yeah. Because they want it to be like, if you just have WWE eyes, you can't disconnect, you know?
Yeah.
You can't disconnect from what WWE's been shoving down your throat for years. Like, you need this, you need this, you need this. You have to sell every move like it's the most painful thing ever.
Right.
What's funny, I don't want to I'm not going to say it. Never mind. Okay, I'll bring it. I'm not going to bring it. Sometimes when AEW people kick out at 1, WWE fans will be like, that's stupid. But then literally during this motherfucking, or last week, Piper Niven kicks out at 1, and it's like, oh, because she's a beast.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Yeah, man.
It's
one-sided.
Yeah, it's the bias. It's the bias.
It's too biased.
Tribalism, if you will. All right, bro. So my boy Logan Paul. Shout out to his show. Highly entertaining on HBO Max. Everyone go check it out. Paul America.
Paul America, yeah.
Great show. Great behind the scenes. I think you'll start to like these two more.
Really?
Especially they got their girls that make them more relatable, you know, all this shit. Shout out to them.
I'll peep it out. I'll peep it out.
Yeah. But Logan Paul said he wants to be the face of WWE. And he's a full-timer, my guy. He's a full-timer now, my guy. Let's go, bro. I'm excited, bro. I'm a fan, bro. I'm going to tell you, you watch this show, Paul America, you'll start to like him. You'll start to like him a little bit more. A little bit more.
I'm trying to compute, like, could Logan Paul be the face of WWE? I don't see that. I don't see it.
He could be one of the faces. He will never be, I don't think, the Cody Rhodes of WWE. Will he be a Gunther type character? Maybe. Will he be a Jey Uso? Maybe. Because, you know, people talk shit about him. Hulk Hogan, he said the more of a face you are, the bigger the more heel you are, the bigger face turn you will have.
Vice versa.
Yeah. Because right now, we never thought Dom would be getting some cheers, but we're hearing him. We're fucking hearing him a little bit.
I tell you this. This is how this has gotten this bad. Watch. If there was a Dom versus Logan Paul match, Dom would be the fucking face. They will cheer the fuck out of Dom.
Instantly, bro. Instantly.
Like that.
That's all I'm saying. It's going to be hard for Logan to turn face. The hardest, I think, it would be for any heel in the history of WWE.
Because he's an outsider.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm gonna peep the show out. And see if I can get a little more insight.
It starts at WrestleMania 40.
Okay.
And then I think by episode 4, it's talking Jake Paul, Mike Tyson when it got postponed. And then we're going into SummerSlam episode 5, where he loses the belt to LA Knight. So I'm excited to see Logan Paul's reaction to all him losing the belt to LA Knight, you know, shit like that. And they said the parents were like, he had to one up his brother because his brother knocked out Mike Perry, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
They're like, the parents are like, Logan feels like he has to one up him. And that's when he did that springboard off the rope.
Yeah.
At SummerSlam, which was a dope ass move.
Yeah.
So It was dope.
Springboard moonsault. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. See what's going on. But again, Hogan, he has to show me something, and it starts between the ropes. I need to see more consistency. I need to see him really the little things in the rope. Like I need him to really show me something. Because right now, I just get this. I'm a superstar outside of wrestling. I really don't need wrestling. I can go and do something else. I'm just here to add another notch under my belt, more so than the love he has for the game. This is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
So,
I think he loves the game though, bro, and that's where Paul America comes in. You realize he really does love wrestling, bro. His gender reveal was a wrestling match, bro.
But again, is he doing this for the TV? Is he doing it for the camera? I think
he's doing it. I think initially he did it to put Prime over, to put his brand over. But now I think he actually loves the business, and I think this show shows it.
We'll see.
But I got one more. And
you got one more. Let's go.
Our girl Chelsea Green, bro. The word on the street was that she was supposed to be the host of WrestleMania, and I would have loved it. But then it got shot down by whoever's back there shooting down shit. Okay. Someone brought it up. Someone shot it down. How you feel, bro?
First of all, I would have loved to see her as a host. She is hilarious. Yeah. And I think it would have been very entertaining. But damn, I wonder who shot it.
Yeah. And it was crazy. Her on Chris Van Fleet's podcast, she's talking like, she's realistic. She's like, I'm never going to be a Rhea Ripley. I'm never going to be a Bianca Belair. Like, I hope it happens, but I'm never really going to main event WrestleMania type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was like real. She knows she's kind of a role player and she's cool with that.
Yeah.
She's like, it's making me a lot of money. She's like, I'm building a house. I have a great husband, Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, whatever. But she's like, totally like, you got to have those people, I think, in those mindsets sometimes that are like, I'm just here to help everyone else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
spoken like a true veteran.
Yeah.
Spoken like someone who's been in the industry in the indies for years. Spoken like a true.
Yeah. It was funny too, because he asked her, he was like, did you ask Christian if you could do that finishing move, the unpretty her or whatever? And she was like, there's no way Christian knew who the fuck I was. She said, I was in the game for 4 months and they finally told me I was going to win a match. And she's like, I don't have a fucking finishing move. So she went into the bathroom and like fucking Googled top 10 finishing moves and was like going through them. She's like, can't do that one. Can't do that one. Can't do. She's like, oh shit, I can do this one. And then she was like, she did it. And then when she did it, she jumped and did it, which Christian just kind of falls. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she jumps. So she got to the back and they're like, oh shit, you jumped? They were like, that shit's awesome. She's like, well, I only watched it one time on YouTube before I did it. So I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, that's our girl. I love Tracy Green, bro.
Yeah.
Do I think she has a capacity to go on maybe a main event run? Yeah, I think she does.
Right storyline for sure.
Right storyline, right opponent. I think she can go on a main event run. As a face.
How about a heel run?
I mean, that's what she's doing right now.
I mean, it's like the heel we love, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
But like a real hated heel.
Like a real heel run, like a Viper Randy Orton kind of heel run type shit. You know? Like where she gets boos, not cheers. Heel run.
Yeah. Maybe she can. I think she can do. She's so versed. She can do both.
Yeah.
So
I'm pumped, man. But are we gonna get a host for WrestleMania? Usually, there's always a host.
They usually
right?
announced it by now. So
they had motherfucking hosts at Bad Blood. That was crazy. It was like Bianca, Jade, wasn't it Bianca, Jade, and Naomi? They was all in the box suites partying with all the celebs and shit.
Yeah, Jey Uso was in there.
Yeah. We'll see.
Now, I need you to fact check this with your phone. Hulk Hogan was at a UFC event.
Oh shit. You already start with the Hulkster. Let's go.
Hulk Hogan was at a UFC event. They put him on They put him on this TV, and he got cheered. I need you to look that up.
I mean, with that crowd, UFC crowd, bro, probably cheered at UFC. We're asking ChatGPT right now. Man, that's Hulk Hogan.
This segment is brought to you by ChatGPT.
bro.
Is it true?
Oh, the reaction was mixed.
Oh, okay. But that's
The
better than getting
reaction
booed.
was mixed.
Mixed reaction.
Bro, they talked that Seth was talking about it. He's like, look, Hulk has been nothing but nice to me. He was one of my favorite people growing up. Wrestler, bar none. He means so much to the wrestling community. He just needs to be a little bit more self-aware of situations. Like,
I don't think he should because, again, Hogan was erased from the opening package from a WWE program for a while. After that, he dropped the N-word. And he was erased from history for a little bit, right? He shows
and he
back
had the
up on
sex tape
WTV.
too. My boy has a sex tape.
Bro, Hogan was dropping legs.
When did we go from cheering Hogan when he was on surprise things in wrestling and then booing Hogan? Because the first time he really got booed was a Raw on Netflix, right? The premiere.
Right.
And was that because of Trump? Maybe not, because Undertaker was there too.
Right.
And Undertaker gave Trump a platform to talk. You know, he put him on the podcast. So, I mean, is it the race? I mean, O'Shea Jackson says it's the racism.
No,
that's what he says it is.
It's not. Because he just came back from what WWE was trying to race him from saying the N-word. And he came back and motherfuckers went crazy for him. So it's not it. So that leads me to think rage bait, rage clicking.
Just something to do.
Fall in line. It's a thing to do. Let's boo Hulk Hogan. We're tired of Hulk Hogan. Let's boo Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of, bro, because
I was thinking a lot with the documentaries that came out, like everything that we're learning about Hulk Hogan and how he was in the locker room. And you're going to see, bro, on WrestleMania 9 documentary, bro, on Peacock. It's more bad shit about Hogan, bro. There's more shit about Hogan. That's bad. Every documentary that comes out right now puts Hulk Hogan in a bad light. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that. But again, his outside shit, let's keep that separate, right? So let's talk about the basis of him just inside, right? The ring, right? In this industry. What'd he do so bad? Not put so many people over? Fuck, I don't care about that shit. He not only was he the top star in WWE, he was the wrestler for the longest time. He was the generational talent. He is the reason they call WWE wrestlers superstar.
He's the reason they had to bring him back to sell tickets to WrestleMania 9 because them bitches were not selling.
Right.
They said, and I remember it was like the part in the documentary, the owner of Caesar's Hotel or whatever. He's like, y'all are bringing Hogan back, right? And they're like, nah. He's like, nah. Like, y'all are bringing Hogan back. And they're like, nah. And then tickets weren't selling. And they're like, all right, Hogan's coming back. Hogan's coming back. Like,
I don't know. I find it so hard to believe that people just have such disdain for Hogan. And I'm gonna tell you something.
Like that.
But I'm gonna tell you something. It's quietly but surely. People are coming out the woodwork like, I still rock with Hogan. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Hogan's always been my guy. He's gonna be my guy.
I do see a lot of people saying that too.
Yeah.
And I mean, his beer is a sponsor of WWE still. Like, you can't get around that right now.
So what's up?
You see it in the ring, all of the Great American Beer or All American Beer, whatever the beer is.
See? So that's what I mean. Like, what are we doing?
Not sold in Atlanta yet. I want to taste this beer, bro. I love beer. I'm trying to taste some Hogan beer, bro.
If I find matter of fact, let me say right now on the pod, if I find a case of All of Great American Beer, we're going to be drinking that for WrestleMania weekend.
It's not in Atlanta, bro. I've tried. It's only in Alabama right now.
Not in Atlanta at all.
No, not in Atlanta at all.
Is it in Gwinnett?
It's nowhere in Georgia, bro.
It's nowhere in Georgia.
I think it's like down by Columbus, Georgia.
Damn.
But that's it.
I wonder why that is.
Well, Columbus, Fort Benning's down there, a lot of Army guys. So, they drinking some Hogan beer.
Yeah. I wonder why it's not in Atlanta.
Just probably ain't got a distributor yet. It's got to be coming. Hey,
Georgia Crown, United Empire, all y'all motherfuckers, get some Hogan beer.
Get some Hogan beer, baby.
Hell yeah.
Get some Poor Osos, too. Shout out Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura. Let's get some Poor Osos vodka. Trying to taste that shit. But
That's
y'all,
it for
you
me,
got
though.
anything else?
That's it for me.
That's it.
That's a wrap.
All right, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe somewhere in one of these buttons. Peace.
Deuces.